So it looks like my parents' sink is leaking, but specifically this InSinkErator. See how it's leaking on the bottom? I don't know how old it is, but it looks like it's a model 500-1. Alright. And it does work, see? But unfortunately it's leaking. Unlike mine at my house where it doesn't even turn on. So it looks like today I'm gonna have to replace this. So the first thing you're gonna do is locate the model number, and then you don't have to, just make note of the serial number in case it's under warranty, but I'm pretty sure this is pretty old. As you can see, this is a model Badger 500-1. There's InSinkErator. There is amp 6.3, half horsepower, and all the technical information. Of course, it's under warranty. You can contact a number for service or replacement, but it looks like this is pretty old because my parents' house is pretty old. So it looks like I'm gonna do some research and have to find a replacement unit. It looks like this one is a direct plug. Okay, see right there. I don't need additional power supply. Pretty much standard ceiling. I've had experience replacing one of these in my house, so let's go ahead and replace this. So once you have your InSinkErator unboxed, it has instructions manual which basically explains all of the parts that goes into the component, along with some tools that's used to assemble or modify the piping system. Alright, we have everything we need right here, such as like Allen wrench, flange, bolts. So this is the top piece, giving you a look at this is goes in sync with the stopper. See, okay, it's should be pretty much straightforward. It should be pretty much uninstall. Install. This is pretty heavy. So you can see this is the InSinkErator Badger 5 half horsepower unit. Okay, and let me show you what it actually looks like inside. Okay, if you never looked inside one, see, pretty much straightforward. That's the reset button. Okay, let's get to assembly. Alright, so I'm ready for the remove installation. So look at your garbage disposal. There are two different power supplies that can supply power to it. One is hardwire connected to the wall or plug. The hardwire one you need to shut off the main breaker, but because I have a plug-in model, I can simply unplug it and I don't have to worry about electrocution. Wow, that's stiff. Okay. Now looking at this tube is coming from the dishwasher, so we need to remove that. It's held on by these two screws and these hose clamp. And this one goes to the drainage pipe, so we need to also loosen these two flathead bolts. So once we have them removed, then we're going to loosen this by clockwise position to remove the old InSinkErator garbage disposal. And I'm just going to use a simple tool, a flathead screwdriver, and maybe a hammer if this is too difficult to remove. Starting out with the dishwasher drainage tube, I'm going to loosen these two bolts. That way it loosens the two clamps. So once these two clamps are loose, I can simply pull. And now we have the dishwasher hose loose. See? And get some drainage. I have a pan right here. It's going to be water. Next, I'm going to loosen this metallic flange that goes to the drainage pipe. See how it's separated? There's some water coming out. Alright, next up, we are going to put the screwdriver through here, and then we're going to rotate it clockwise to loosen this. And if it's too tight, you might need to use a hammer. Wow, that was easy. Wow, it came out super easy. I just realized I made a huge mistake. I bought the wrong model. This is actually the hardwire model. See these two wires? That's for if you want to do the hardwire, which I don't want to do. I want to use a straight plug-in. play with a power cord. So it looks like I'm gonna have to return this model and get the right one. So I'm gonna have to hold off on the installation for another day. So while I'm at it, might as well just show you guys the difference. I think the corded model is exactly the same horsepower and everything, same capability, except it has got a power cord that's already built into that. Okay. Now that I finally have the corded model, I can go ahead and continue with assembly. Now I am going to keep the same mounting hardware because, as you can see, it's InSinkErator. And if you look at the bottom, it's exactly the same. So I'm going to keep that. If something happens to this, I can always replace it with my brand new one. And this is to save some time. My next step is to punch out the dishwasher drain plug. You simply use a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, punch it out, apply some force, and then remove it with some pliers. And this is what the drain plug looks like. It's just a plastic piece of filament. I'm just going to remove the old tubing. Next, I'm going to insert the flange onto the tubing. My next step is to insert the attack flange into the hose. Put the sealant gasket into the discharge. Okay, and I'm going to use the two bolts to hold it in place. Alright, it's time to mount it. What I'm going to do is line it up, attach it to the self-contained hooks, and then I'm going to turn it clockwise to latch it on. Wish me luck. This might take more than one try. So I have it on. Now we're going to turn it clockwise. Make sure it latches into place. Here's an example how it attaches. You see how this is lined up? You're going to line it up and slide it like that. See that? And then it's going to be locked all the way through. See? So ideally, you want this to touch that to be fully locked. Use this Allen wrench to apply some force to it. Alright, now it's fully tightened. You see how that's touching up right against the ramp? Okay, so now I'm just going to basically reattach this and the other hoses, and we're good to go. Everything is back to its ready state. Now we can finally test it out. Make sure it doesn't leak. I'm going to run it with water. Okay. No leakage. So far, looks good. Okay, now I'm going to turn it on. It's working. Hey, I think we're good to go. So the installation is fairly simple. InSinkErator, it's a good brand. So hope you guys enjoyed the video and good luck.